I hate being in this flat. My mom just says the same things over and over again. She's so batty, and I just don't understand what is wrong with her. She's going on now about George. George seems to be going mad. I don't know what's going on with him. He's There was a court case where he won the case back in April, and recently he's gone to the police to report my mum talking. I think it's my mum talking to him. My mum said that he came and sat next to her during this court case, and my mum keeps going on about how she only said two words to him, such as "Are you happy now? I see you're happier now," or something like this, and just it's the same phrase over and over again. And then I think there was one other sentence. I can't remember what exactly she said, but it was like two sentences. And she thinks that George has reported her to the police because George got two restraining orders, not just one. So he got a restraining order at the beginning, when Linda went to go round at Christmas, which was about 6 months after she last saw him, to give him a present. And then he got a restraining order on her, which I was furious at the time, because it was so horrible. Your a grandmother of your child wants to give a present, wants to see the child, and not only are you not going to see the child, you're also going to get a restraining order on her just for trying to give a present at Christmas. I mean, these people are horrible. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if, a part of me wants to believe that maybe he did find out after at the birth of Blake. Maybe he did find out about me being God, and maybe he has made a covenant with someone to ignore me and stuff. But I feel like if that's the case, then why is he doing things like this? Why is he getting two restraining orders on my mum? My mum is very batty, definitely, but she's going battier the thought of not being able to see these grandchildren, and it's causing huge problems on me. So George is not helping me by doing things like this. And to go to the police because my mum said two words to him, at this court. He's blocked all our numbers. That wants nothing to do with us. I hate him. If I'm God, why is he doing this? He is he is smart. He is smart, and he went to Cambridge University, and he's got so much degree and stuff. And I feel like he must be a pawn in this too. If he knows or not, I don't know, but he must be a pawn in this, because he's obviously got some sort of mental illness. He knew me for for the whole time from 2000, well, from when Sophie was 15 and when Sophie went to go and live with him. He's obviously lived with Sophie for his whole life, and obviously has kept some sort of. I think he was with her because he likes being the smart one. He likes being very, very smart. And if you're with someone who's very, very dumb, well, you're going to seem like the smart one. And so I feel like he was with her for the wrong reasons. He was with her because it built up his ego, his need or something. But yeah, my sister did tell me a couple of odd stories that I'm not going to talk about. But when the child, this child, the first child, went to go and live with him, I was very concerned. Why? Because I'm questioning his mental state for how he treats my mum and my sister. Okay, yeah, they are batty. They are very, very batty. But if my if I had a child with someone and their grandmother was this batty lady, I would be aware that she's batty, but I would still be like, well, I understand your need to see the child, and I'd be respectful, and I would let them see the child. I might be worried. I wouldn't want to leave the child, maybe for long term without, if you care about a child, you care about that child so much that you don't want them to come to harm. And if you know that people are batty, you don't really want them hugely in their life. But, I know that my mom can look after a child for a short period of time. Um, but to do things like getting a restraining order on them for giving a present at Christmas, I mean, that's madness. George is mad or getting restricted. I think it was Sophie had a dentist. She ran off to Brighton in August, and she had a dental appointment in November, and the dentist was still in where she was in London. So she had to come back to go there, and on that same day that she had the dentist appointment, George also happened to have a dental appointment on the same day, even though they hadn't spoken for months. It was a complete coincidence. Coincidences like that don't happen. That was meant to happen. And then after meeting at the dentist, they went back to the house, and apparently everything was fine. And then after like a 5-minute argument, George quickly called the police and then used that as an excuse to get a restraining order on Sophie as a way of preventing her from seeing her child. And this made her situation so much worse. But just it's weird. Everything that's happened with them, being so close for 13 years, so close, so much so that they were always in this like same room, practically always following each other around. You know, George knows Sophie better than anyone, or at least he should do, unless of course he's just so blind and so idiotic, or some he's got some mental condition to make him think, you know, I don't like being with my sister for more than a day because I feel like I'm just so, even now it's like an hour. She just winds me up so much. I mean, she's not an abusive person. I wouldn't say she's abusive. I wouldn't say she's violent. I wouldn't say she's those things, but yeah, stressful, and says crazy things, and you know, he's supposed to be a smart, intelligent guy. Why would you want a smart, intelligent guy with a complete idiot? I mean, I feel like he liked the complete idiot because he got to be like, you know, the adult. That's the relationship that his parents have. You know, the dad does everything, even chop up his mother's food, which is a very strange thing, to see, you know, an oldish man chop up an oldish woman's food because she doesn't chop it up herself, and to just eat plain carrots and potatoes. I mean, that's a very strange diet. So there's obviously something going on that my higher self has done, because that's crazy. It's like I can't tell what's normal because there's so much non-normal in my life that, like, if I'm saying things are normal, it's just like, yeah, this is normal for me. Not that it should be, not that this should be normal, not that this should be normal for anyone, but yeah, there's this weird stuff, and George is part of this because he was with her for 13 years, and he's the reason why I knew nothing about my sister for such a long time, because Sophie had to choose between me and him, and she chose him, of course. And yeah, and now he's trying. He's got 2 restraining orders, one lasting a year. I don't know why. The second one happened because he refused to give a video. There was a video call that Sophie was getting a video call every week or something for like 10 minutes or whatever, and she didn't get her 10-minute phone call in 1 week. And so Sophie and Linda went round to complain, hey, we want our video call, and he got a second restraining order because of that, even though it was his fault for not getting. You shouldn't be allowed to just get restraining orders on whoever you want for stupid reasons. You know, oh, grandmother tried to give her grandson a Christmas present, so I want a restraining order on her. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, why the fuck? Who's deciding this? Are you all mentally ill? Are you to think that is acceptable, to put a restraining order on someone for trying to give a Christmas present to their grandchild? You know, that is insane. And well, because of these two words, these 2 sentences, he's getting another restraining order. You know, I'm worried about this kid that he's looking after. He's supposed to be looking after a 2-year-old kid, and he's obviously got some sort of mental problems. I don't know, but I'm a little bit concerned for the child, because if this guy is looking after a child and he thinks it's okay to do shit like this, so there's something wrong, and I don't know what's wrong. Apparently he's changed all his look, and he looks very, very different to how he used to look. And I saw him in one of the video calls a year or 2 ago, and he looked very stern, like he was just dead inside or something. I don't know what's wrong with him, but something's changed with him. And also, he was supposed to be on a really, really high salary, and as soon as he left Sophie, his salary has dropped to next to nothing almost. I mean, I don't know if that's just because he doesn't want to give Sophie the money in the divorce, and he's lying about how much money he's making. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. You know, I know that I have said that I don't want him in my family, and if I am to choose people that I like, he won't be one of the ones that I choose. And I don't know, but maybe there's a bigger reason for this. There has to be a bigger reason, and I feel like there is a bigger reason. And you know, he's never believed that I was God. I don't understand why he never believed. I don't understand why he didn't take an interest. You know, he was smart. He's got a Cambridge degree. You know, there's a lot of people in my life that just make me feel like shit. And he is just one more person that made me feel like shit, because he's supposed to be intelligent. Everyone sees him. My mum goes on about how intelligent he is. But at the same time, she is a complete idiot. And so if she is saying that he is intelligent, that doesn't mean that it's the truth. If my uncle's saying that he's a very intelligent guy, if my dad's saying he's a very intelligent guy, this means absolutely nothing. Why? Because all of 3 of them are not particularly bright. My dad can figure things out. You know, I know he's got ability to work things out, but his ability to show compassion is just not there. And I never has been. And I'm not making it happen by saying this. I'm just saying what is the truth and what has already happened. So it's kind of awful. But I'm going to go to Kew Gardens today, and I'm going to try and get over the mess of my life. But yeah, if you want to know how my life is, ask my Uncle David, because I live a very nice, happy life.